Hello everyone, welcome to the video today. This is Beyond the Truth. Today we are going to be talking about, are Ethiopians African or Arab? The world is full of stereotypes, that white people say black people all look the same, or that all Asians look the same, or that Asians think that all white people look the same, and so on and so on. But in reality, none of these are true, just silly notions of the past when we were less sensitive. I am a historian, but I have always been fascinated in other disciplines, like anthropology, genetics, and so on and so forth, and I have spent countless hours studying them. People are a fascinating subject to study: how they act, what drives them, what fuels them, and of course, how they look in regards to each other. I am sure you have thought about that too, or maybe I am just being weird in that way. Phenotypes, or a set of observable characteristics of an individual resulting from the interaction of its genotype with the environment, are a tale in itself. They tell the story of us, the story of where we come from, and the story of how we have gotten to where we have gotten so far, and of all the roads that we have taken in between. Not us, as in us per se, but us, as in the human species. There are many such wonderful stories all over the world, but one is very specific, and I have found myself contemplating it many a time: the story of the Ethiopians. They have had such a history that where two different races have managed to form a race of their own. They are in Africa, but they do not really look like their African neighbors. We need to go way back, like seriously way back, like 3,000 years back, to where their story begins. It is well documented that the Egyptians had very strong trade relations with the region around the Horn of Africa, which is now Ethiopia. They used to call it the land of Punt, and just across the water to what is now Yemen, there was another great civilization, the Sabaeans. The records don't really tell us how it all came to be, but at some point the two merged. Was it the Semites from Arabia that conquered the people of Punt, or was it Punt that conquered the Sabaeans? Or maybe they merged for a mutually beneficial union. We will never know. Maybe it was very amicable and profitable, or maybe it was bloody as hell. But nevertheless, they came together and formed a nation, and not just a nation, they formed a race of their own, a brand new race, not Semitic, not African, but something in between. 3,000 years of the two genomes and the two very distinct phenotypes gave birth to the Ethiopians. I am not trained in anthropology, and I am only an amateur educating myself on the subject, but for some reason, the Semitic facial features seem predominant in the newly generated race, and the African pigmentation seems to be more prevalent. And the language they now speak is kind of Semitic. And in the very mythology they have stories that attest to their Semitic origins. They hold strong beliefs that they are ancestors from King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. I know Solomon is Jewish, not Arab, but Semite nonetheless. You know, potato, potato. There was no such person as Solomon, seeing that the only source that mentions him is the Bible, and like 99% of the people in the Bible are made up. Apart from Pontius Pilate, who was indeed a real person, but nonetheless it makes for a good story, and it is in fact true. They do come from Semitic and from Sabaean genes. I can hear the boiling of all the blood reading and quoting people as you are reading this now. But however angry you get and talk crap about me will not change the fact that you believe in make-believe, in fairy tales. Anyway, I hope that this little experiment of the mind has triggered some interest in you, and you will go on to research it and check out some pics to try to make your own minds about this. Thank you for being brave and sticking to the end. At least I hope that some of you did. Take care, never stop thinking and imagining, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!